Are the Angels going to be homeless after this season? Will they stay in Anaheim? Will Artie Moreno be forced to sell the team? And what about Scarecrow's brain? All this and more on the next Halo Joe.
Short or tall, large or small, welcome any time. Have a ball, one and all, come to Anaheim. Cheer, let them know we're here.
Hello, one and all, and welcome again. It's me, Halo Joe, and we've got well, first of all, happy Monday morning to you, and I hope you have a great week planned. Not sure what the weather's going to be. I didn't check. I'm sure it's going to be hot, but I'm going to play safe and say we're going to be in the 90s this week. I don't know, but hopefully you have a good week planned ahead of you. Maybe some of you are on vacation. Some of you are probably going back to work like me and some others. But you know, that's the way it goes, right? That's the way the machine works. That's how they keep us uh, mindless. I don't know. It's too early. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. It's hot in here. I can't stand it anymore. But anyway, you are now listening and or watching Halos in the Infield, your Angels Baseball Podcast Network, where you could get everything you need to know about the Angels and some stuff you don't want to know. We give it all. We lay it all on the table, and it's all for you. You could join me, Halo Joe, here every Monday morning to start your week off. You could listen to or watch James Squared that comes on weekly as well, and you could come on and watch the Lone Star Halo who comes on weekly as well. And we all have our shows, and we come and post them out there. And we get them out there. We anything that's any content that has to do with the Angels, any news that's out, anything like that at all. Or my speaking for myself, maybe even a little bit of history shoved your way. And also, do not forget the Todd Fox post game show that's on every night after every baseball game. Get all the ins and outs of everything that's happened in that particular game. Todd's going to give it to you, and he's going to let you hear it, what he thinks about it, how he feels about it. You know what? We all kind of feel the same. We admit it. If you're watching us on Halos in the Infield, you kind of have the same. Um, you're kind of in the same fandom bracket as we are. We're a little fed up with what's been going on lately, and we're going to let you know about it, which is great about this place. And you can also go on his podcast show. It's live. You could go into the comments. You could ask questions. You could say whatever you like down there, and also you could call in the show and talk to Todd yourself live and ask him a few questions or give a take if you have one on where the Angels are, what they should be, and how they should be, and all that other kind of stuff. So Halos in the Infield, we got it all. Like I said, more than you probably need, but we have it all. We are brought to you by Noble Ale Works, just outside the Angel Stadium, over on 1621 South Sinclair Street, where you can get discounts on us just by mentioning HITI Halos in the Infield. And also, you could go on down to 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get. Get 10% off using the Apply Now code when ordering your tickets just by mentioning HITI Halos in the Infield. The HITI Network, HED, Halos in the Infield, whatever you want to call it. I've heard people call ESPN ESPN. It doesn't matter. Just call us. I just show up. Anyway, today's topic: are the Angels going homeless? I mean, is this it? Are we putting up tents for these guys? They're going to hang out by the reservoir, and are we going to have to like come by and drop off some McDonald's or maybe a few bucks to help them out? I don't know. I don't know. Kind of far fetched. It's not really something I think is going to, of course, happen, but it is interesting to think what is taking place. We have, let's see, I have here on my, let's see, the article I was reading off the paper, which it broke this week. Actually, I didn't break; it was just a story that came out this week that the state of California auditor is set to launch an investigation on the failed Angels Stadium deal that we just went through. And they're also going to check out and see if the Angels have been complying with current stadium lease uh, um, um, negotiations that they had with the city of Anaheim as far as taking care of the stadium. Now, a lot of you have been to the stadium this season. I have. Um, and we've all, I'm sure a lot of us agree, as beautiful as the field looks on TV, um, it's getting kind of shabby over there. I was actually shocked. I haven't been I went to one game this season because I'm currently not wanting to spend any money there. I don't know if you call it a protest or me boycotting it all, but I just don't want to be giving. I don't want to be helping Artie out, and I just want to be a part of that right now. I want that guy to sell this team, and I want my team back. I want some kind of new excitement, something happening. I don't think this guy's able to provide it. But anyway, sorry, went off the rails there. Uh, Noticed a lot of the stadium is there's a lot of rusty areas, rusty bolts, cracked concrete, leaks, some strange leaks. We don't know what those are. We don't want to know what those are. The bathrooms are looking really bad, um, which really surprised me how bad those look. But man, do we have nice screens in the outfield. Let me tell you, there's some really good looking jumbo screens out there. I'm not going to complain. Those are great screens. I love them. But yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the stadium. Now, I'm sure the Angels are claiming that, I'm sure all their T's are crossed and I's are dotted as far as what they are doing and contributing. I believe what they're saying is that they're actually um, contributing more money than what is asked. But let's get into the details here a little bit. So the audit was requested by Senator Tom Unberg and Assembly Member Avelino Valencia, who approved the legislation for this week. Valencia was formerly served as part as the Anaheim City Council at the time. I guess um, when the whole scandal started. Uh, these are Valencia quoting. I'm quoting Valencia. Our audit request will ensure we examine any actions in the past and how they can inform and bind future decision making. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. It's not Valencia. It's actually Tom Umberg saying this. My apologies. Tom Umberg also says in the statement, "It's the least we can do to reassure the residents of Anaheim that we are on their team." So they're looking out for the people who live in Anaheim and the business owners and all that other stuff. And that's good. That's good to hear. But what does this mean with us, with our Angels? People who don't live there, who probably don't really care about that stuff. The Angels lease extends through 2029. We know this already, and they could extend it out to 2038. So quite a while. As far as how the contract stands now with the stadium, that's where they're at now. Let's see. Umberg and Valencia are expressing their deep concerns with the Angels organization and what happened with that stadium. Uh, some details there. The audit request um, was brought up in an interview with Umberg, and he said that he had no firm evidence that the Angels have not lived up to the lease, but believed an independent assessment was necessary. So from what I've heard, the Angels are keeping up to speed with that. I don't know what the ins and outs are and the details are. I'm not there. I don't work there, but they've been complying. They've been in compliance with the city. Um, he also says on behalf of the taxpayers, that's an important thing to know. So the spokeswoman for the Angels, who is Mary Garvey, she said Angels baseball is in full compliance with the stadium lease, and under current ownership, we have spent approximately 7 times more than what the lease requires in capital improvements and maintenance. 7 times more. Now, is that in the screens alone? Or is that what is that in? I mean, or maybe I would like to see the bill on that when they finally painted those helmets. They were looking pretty shabby for a while. So they're claiming to be going above and beyond with what the um, for what the contract is needing them to do or fulfill. Our last full audit found general compliance with the terms of the lease of the last audit they had, which I don't know what year that was. I think that was back in 2019. Um, but yeah, so it looks like what's going on is they're preparing for that. It looks like the Angels organization is prepared. Um, and the auditors are going to come in and check and see what's going on as far as any little, you know, shadowy. What word am I looking for here? Any kind of suspicious looking deals that have gone on. I'm going to tell you what, in my personal opinion, I've seen. I know Artie lawyers up. I know he's got his guys, and I know this because when he went along with the name change, he really looked at the details of the contract on how the Angels were situated. The Angels, I believe, at the time left a small clause open, allowing the team to be able to change their name, possibly to not just the Anaheim Angels, they were already the Anaheim Angels at the time, but to change it to the Angels of Anaheim as their official name, to match the Ducks, because at the time the Ducks were called the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. So they left that open. That was a possibility. Disney was looking into that, possibly naming the Angels of Anaheim. Um, so they left that little clause open in there so that they can make that switch without disrupting the contract. Artie saw that loophole. Well, Artie's lawyers probably did. Artie was probably having a drink in the back. Uh, they saw that loophole and went ahead with the name change. Is why we got that ridiculous name, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Artie could name his team whatever he wanted as long as the of Anaheim was in there, and that's what he did. I'm sure if Artie had the chance to just name him LA and not have that, he wouldn't have had that because it is ridiculous. I wouldn't doubt if he himself found that to be ridiculous, but legally he was able to do it, and that's why we had that bizarre name. And then in 2016, the of Anaheim dropped off because the contract was up. Um, so they look into these things. They're I'm sure Artie's very, very careful when it comes to anything like that. And when it comes to this and the deal that went down, I'm sure he was very careful too, in case something happened or didn't fall through. He was scot free as he pulled out. Now, I think if he was guilty of something and was in the mix with something, he would have probably sold this team when he said he was. As a matter of fact, I thought at the time when he mentioned he was looking out for someone to sell, or he was seeing his options on selling the team. I thought to myself, this guy's up to something. Something happened, um, but no, he stuck with us, and I think that's because he's probably clean. I'm sure he's legally clean from all what was going on with Sadu and that whole deal. Although, from what I'm hearing, the mayor at the time was asking for, I guess he was asking for campaign money in return for this deal, or and possibly votes. I don't know. That's he's sitting out for that. It does Artie have something to do with that? I don't know. I thought he's very capable of doing something like that, maybe, but I don't think he is. I think Artie's not involved. Honestly, I'll be pretty shocked if it comes out and it says that he is, because I would wonder why he would just sit around and just let them come to him and bust him. But I think he has a clean exit if he did do anything wrong, and I think he's just I think he's got it covered. I don't think they're going to catch anything on old Artie, and unfortunately, I think all of us are hoping they find some scandal where he's forced to sell. Now, Major League Baseball is looking in on this as well, and in 22, it says here in 22, after the FBI disclosed allegations of corruption against the then mayor Harry Sadu. The city council killed the deal in which Angels owner Artie Moreno and his company would have bought the stadium property, renovated or replaced the ballpark, and surrounded it with village homes, shops, and etc. Um, that that being said, he, I think Artie, for the price that he was getting that stadium for, was ridiculous. Um, that stadium and that land, and now that we've learned recently too that he owns a lot of the other land around the area, all that back area where Mezzos is at, where the high rise New York Life building that you see in the outfield, the white building, that where that sits, all that area there, we just recently found out, Todd and I found out that it's owned by Artie Moreno. And now, if he is to buy that stadium, he's going to own that entire spot. Now, for a team owner, that's great, especially here in Southern California. It's so hard to build a stadium here of any sport, arena or anything like that. So for him to score on something like that for the price he was getting that for, ridiculous. He had to jump on it. Now, what was the deal behind it? That's what's so suspicious about this whole thing. And I'm hoping a lot more comes out. There's not a lot. Everything right now is speculation. I'm speculating. I'm guessing and doubting. I don't know. My hope, just as much as everyone else, is that they do come out with something, and good old Artie is caught with his pants down, and we can move on as a fan base and start rooting for our team again, right? Um, but that's basically it. Kind of going through everything else here. Um, I'll just read this last part. 2023, Sadu signed a plea deal that acknowledged he provided confidential negotiation information belonging to the city so that the Angels could buy Angel Stadium on terms beneficial to the Angels and kept that disclosure secret from the rest of the city council. The FBI affidavit said Sadu planned to ask the Angels for $1 million contribution to his re-election campaign. Sadu pleaded guilty to obstructing a corruption investigation, wire fraud, and making false statements. He is scheduled to be sentenced in December. Neither the FBI affidavit nor the plea deal alleges the Angels did anything wrong. So we'll see. I doubt it. I don't think anything's really going to come of it. December, he's going to be going in. Well, I guess keep an eye on that and see what's happening with him on that. Um, it makes you wonder what deals took place. It makes sense that something screwy like that happened for the low price that Artie was buying that stadium for and everything going to him. My question right now is, and if you have any questions about this as well that I'm not covering or that I missed, please enter it in the comments below. I would love to check them out and read them. If it is a question, look it up and check it out, and maybe we could discuss and figure out what's going on or answer the question that we're asking. But what I'm wondering is does the city of Anaheim still want control of the stadium? Is the city of Anaheim interest? Is it to their benefit to sell this team to Artie, or if there's another owner, um, to take it off their hands and just uh, make the money that it makes on on the city of Anaheim, or do they still want control of the stadium as they own it and lease it out? Not sure. It's I know that Anaheim wants the team there. I know they don't want the Angels to leave. I know they want them to stay there. I know the Angels are they're woven into the fabric of that city and that county, and that's just the truth of it. They're a staple there as much as Disneyland. The Angels are that big A is stands for Anaheim as well. That's how embedded they are. Uh, Whether they were named California or Los Angeles, they're in that area. That's just how it is. That's how it's been. I think the city wants that. That's what it feels like to me. With the arguments they went back and forth with Artie Moreno during the name change, the arguments they went, the discussions and meetings they had when the contract was up and they were renegotiating the lease. Um, the city council did not want to let the Angels go. They didn't want them to go to Long Beach. They didn't want them to leave. They want them to stay there. So they're trying to keep them there. Now, whether or not they want to do that by continuing control of the stadium and leasing it to them or selling it to the owner, Artie Moreno, that remains to be seen. It depends on what they could do right now as well, since all this is going on. Are they able to sell? I'm sure they can. These are some things I'm not too um, informed about. So if you do know that, comment section, let me know. I would love to learn from you guys as well. Um, but yeah, the it's kind of a sticky situation. I'm wondering if I wa- it's interesting. I honestly believe not much is going to come from this. My personal opinion. I really would love something sticky to come out that we could kind of sink our teeth in and say, "Ooh, maybe we have a shot here." That would make it a little exciting. Maybe some really good off-season news, right? That would be fun. Um, so moving on for this week, it looks like tonight we have a game of 5:10 against the Kansas City Royals. Hey, my name's my name's Gooby, and I used to pitch for the Kansas City Royals. Uh, they will be playing them at 5:10. As a matter of fact, let's see who are they. Who's pitching that game? Um, it's not Gooby. I know that. Tell you right now. Oh boy, phone's being slow. There we go. We got Carson Fulmer against Seth Lugo. Carson Fulmer with a 4.22 ERA. Lugo with a 3.04 ERA. Um, yeah, they're going to be. Let's see. Well, Lugo's 13-7. Wow. 13-7, and good old Carson Fulmer's 0-3. So let's see how we do tonight against that fella, and hopefully the Angels bats wake up tonight. It really just comes down to that now with our wins and losses. Is our bats going to be awake? Then on Tuesday, tomorrow, same time, 5:10 p.m. against the Royals, and 5:10 again on Wednesday against the Royals. So 3-game series. Then we're going to go at it again with a 4-game series starting on Thursday against the Toronto Blue Jays. So we have them at 4:07 on Thursday, 4:07 on Friday, 12:07 on Saturday, and 10:37 on Sunday. Be sure to catch those games, especially on those weekends. I love those early games. Kick back and enjoy some daytime Angels baseball. Hopefully, we could pull some wins out there. I'm not expecting too much for us this year. I think this year's done. I'm sure you guys all think that as well, but it is nice to cheer them on for a win. Hopefully, we can get some runs. Something a little exciting to watch, right? If you're not checked out a baseball season already, football's coming up already. It's right on the corner. I got to get set up with my fantasy football team and start getting up to snuff on what's happening on that side of the of sports. But this season, surprisingly, I thought it was going to be longer than it's been, but it's gone by pretty. It seems pretty quick for me. I don't know. It should feel slow. It should feel torturous, but it seemed to go by pretty quick. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, thank you all for stopping by this morning. I hope you enjoyed listening to this and looking at my mug whilst drinking your cup of Joe and getting ready to start your week, your wonderful work week, and you know, get out there and face the world. Remember, cup of Joe's great in the morning. Gets you up in the morning, gets you started. But you got to make sure you drink some water followed up by that afterwards because that stuff will dehydrate you. So make sure you stay hydrated out there, especially if you're in areas that are very hot, San Bernardino area, San Fernando Valley, very, very hot out there. Make sure you be careful. You wear lots of sunblock and pour that water down your gut, your throat there. Get yourself nice and moist. That's the key phrase for this summer. Stay moist. We want everybody to be moist out there. So I'm Halo Joe, and I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for stopping by and being a fan of Halos in the Infield. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Make sure you check out the post game show. If it post game show, the show, the post game show. It sounds like make sure you come on down and watch Lingo with RuPaul. No, the post game show after every game. Check it out live every single night with Todd Fox. Great show. Get involved. Get into the chat. Give him a call. Great stuff. It's a great show. And throughout the week, look for our videos. Hit the notification bell and make sure that you're pinged every time our show comes out. And use either with James Squared, the Lone Star Halo, or myself, and Todd, who comes out with great interviews as well. We're here for you. Angels content, good or bad, win or lose, and more. We give it all. So this is your one-stop hub for Angels baseball. If you're an Angels baseball fan, thank you again so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next week. Go Angels.